I often get the question how actually my own journey towards pursuing a one-bag life actually was. That's why this video is all about my journey from becoming a minimalist, then an extreme minimalist, and now pursuing a one-bag life actually was. And at the end of the video, I will give you my single best tip how you can start your own journey towards minimalism for every kind of lifestyle, even if you're not pursuing a one-bag life. So don't miss out. For everyone who is new to my channel, I'm Sven, just an extreme minimalist with less than 150 possessions, whose biggest desire is to live his whole life out of just one carry-on sized backpack. So if you end up liking the video, don't forget to subscribe and like, but most important, share a comment with your thoughts at the end of the video and join me on my journey towards a true one-bag life and to find out how an extreme minimalist lifestyle looks like. And also, don't forget about the weekly one-bag life community post that is posted with this video. But I would say, let's get started. How was your own lifestyle journey? Did you switch your lifestyles a lot in the last couple of years, or you did stick to the same lifestyle for the last maybe, I don't know, 10 or 20 years? For me personally, I switched my lifestyles a lot, and my journey is quite long, I would say. But the journey I'm following right now, pursuing a one-bag life, started with becoming a minimalist and then an extreme minimalist, and now, as I said, pursuing a one-bag life. And that wasn't like from day 1 to day 2 I became, I know, an extreme minimalist or then pursuing a one-bag life. It was actually a very, very long journey. So let's start with minimalism, and for that we need to go back actually, I think now 9 years around that. So the first time when I moved out from my parents' house into my first own apartment for a job. So in that time, I just packed everything up, and I actually realized right at the beginning that I needed to drive a very long distance to my new apartment. And I realized that I rented a van, and I thought maybe I just cramp everything into the van and drive one time the distance and come back and everything is fine. But I quickly realized that I have much more stuff than I can see, because maybe it was in the closet or somewhere else. So I actually needed to drive a lot more than I expected, which was the first thing when I thought, oh, maybe I do have too many things, or too many things that I didn't even knew I had. Because when I moved everything into the apartment, I just unpacked everything and realized that I had a lot of unused things where still the tag is on. And I had even 1 or 2 boxes of things with everything inside I never used before, or I didn't even knew I had it, because maybe my parents packed these boxes for me with the leftovers, I don't know, in the garage or something else. So that was actually the first time when I thought about, okay, maybe it is time, now it's my first apartment, it is time to declutter a little bit of things so I have more space in my apartment. So the first thing that I actually did before putting everything into its designated place is to make a big declutter of everything that even has the tag on or that I've never used in the 1 or 2 boxes. And that's when I first came into contact with minimalism, and that was the first time I actually realized how freeing it can be to get rid of things or to declutter things. Because I felt something I actually never felt before, and it was like more of independence and more of freedom of my things. So I'm not longer independent on everything that I own, and it doesn't restrict me in everything I wanted to do. So that was the time when I realized, okay, maybe I should declutter more often and get often rid of things. And this is when my actual journey towards minimalism started, like 9 years ago, by decluttering a little bit and a little bit after I moved into my first apartment. After some years, I actually tried to live more intentional with my things, and I decluttered like every month or so. And at some point I realized I already decluttered a lot of my things and never missed anything of the things I decluttered or gave away before. So the next step for me was to actually go a step further and go the next route on my journey and try extreme minimalism. Because I already know that I still have a lot of things that are maybe just in case items or I rarely use. So there is definitely more things to declutter, but I thought to myself, I can't really do that when I say to myself, oh, I'm just a minimalist, I live intentionally. No, I needed this like extreme lifestyle change to get new motivation and new energy to even be more focused to declutter more things that I thought I would need but didn't need at all. So I intensified my decluttering and focused my energy and everything more on building systems and workarounds for the things I might declutter that I don't need anymore. And I think it done pretty well because I get down to less than 200 belongings in that time, which also takes, by the way, a couple of years, so it was not like 2 weeks or so. So over the course of multiple years, I decluttered my belongings down to less than 200 things, and that was actually like a renewed or a second time when I realized I felt so much more independent and so much more free from everything that I belonged, that I had the first time the feeling that I can do actually whatever I want, wherever I want, without thinking about everything I have at home, because technically there is like, I don't know, 2, 3, 4, 5 boxes that I can just pack into my car and move everywhere I want within the next, I don't know, 1, 2, 3 or 5 hours. So that was actually the second time I felt how freeing it can be to get rid of things and that you don't get like suppressed by anything. And then came the time when I went on my 1 year of travel adventure through Southeast Asia and India. And during the preparation for this travel, I already realized, okay, maybe I don't need a lot of things or less things than most people would need, because I was already an extreme minimalist and had like very little things. So I started to get everything I needed and went on. But honestly, it was just after, I would say, 3 months that I didn't even thought about starting to live a one-bag life or start living out of just one bag or suitcase. But after 3 or 4 months, I already decluttered like 1/3 of my backpack, I would say, because I realized I didn't need these things at all. And it was at that moment, I think, that I said to myself, okay, maybe it's time to go the next step on my journey and stop living as an extreme minimalist and start trying to pursue a one-bag life. Because I actually realized that even though you have just everything inside a bag, as long as you have all the essentials that you need, you can do whatever you want, wherever you want. And this was for me, again, as I said, the moment where I realized, okay, maybe you don't need a lot of things to be very, very happy in life and fulfilled. And also you get the next step of like the ultimate form, in my opinion, of personal freedom and independence. When you just have everything in one bag, you can, I would say, move in within the next 30 minutes to wherever you want. And technically you can work wherever you want if everything is in your bag that you need for work. So as I said, it was the moment where I realized, okay, I can live for 1 year while I'm traveling out of just one 30-liter carry-on sized bag. So why don't I try it when I'm back at home in my everyday life? So this is where we are actually right now. So I decluttered even more of my things and I'm already down to almost less than 100 possessions that I currently have, and almost everything fits into my 30-liter carry-on size bag. But the road is still long, so I have a lot of my journey still ahead, and there will be more obstacles and challenges that I can promise. But honestly, as I said, for me, it's the ultimate form of personal freedom that I know that I can technically put every essential that I have into this bag and move wherever I want and do whatever I want within the next 30 minutes. So right now, it's definitely the right moment in time to do this kind of extreme lifestyle. And yeah, I would say this was my journey so far. As you can see, even though it might look like that most of the people become minimalist, extreme minimalist, or even a one-bag lifer overnight, it's always a very, very long journey that can take up multiple years. But for me personally, I've never been happier, more independent, and felt more personal freedom than I am feeling right now while pursuing a one-bag life. So for me personally, it's definitely the right thing to do, the right lifestyle to pursue, and the right time of my life to live like that. But now that you know everything from my journey from starting becoming a minimalist, then an extreme minimalist, and now pursuing a one-bag life, here is my single best tip: how you can start your own minimalist journey for every kind of lifestyle, even if you're not pursuing a one-bag life. Don't obsess about the number of things that you own. Try to focus on living intentionally with what you own. Many people think that when it comes to minimalism, you should always count the things that you possess, because every minimalist is putting out numbers of what they possess. But honestly, when you're just starting out, I think the best thing you can possibly do is just focus on living intentionally with the things that you already own. because in my opinion that is the best and almost the easiest way to find out what you really need or what you don't need. So it's much easier for you to declutter things in the end if you live intentionally with the things that you have. And don't forget, minimalism is not about decluttering everything that you have and then counting the rest of your things. It's actually just, as I said, living intentionally with the things you own and also using the things that you have, and don't let them stay around for, I don't know, whatever reason of time. So live intentionally, and always remember, minimalism is not about counting things or decluttering everything. It's about the things that you own and that you use. If you liked the video, don't forget to subscribe and like, but most important, share a comment with your lifestyle journey so far. The next video will be about the way how you can save as much weight as possible in your bag or suitcase. In the meantime, you can watch my last video where I show you how you can handle all the emotional and sentimental items for a one-bag life. And always think about the one-bag life community post that is posted with this video. But as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.